Joe Jarvis. We're in Seattle, Washington, and I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. I went through the chemo, and I've always been tough. I've always been the tough one, and I really took that identity on. Nausea, headaches. I was pretty stoic about all that stuff and kind of internalized it. But when I started losing my hair and having to go to school and having all these girls, like literally, like trends are major in middle school, so everyone with long blonde ponytails and I have nothing, was quite traumatic. It was difficult for me because at the time I was extremely shy, and I didn't like pity. To like have someone look so sad at you all the time, I didn't like that. It made me really uncomfortable. I lost, I will say, all my friends because one day when I was in treatment, I guess I found out about this later, my principal called everyone out into the hall and said, "Joe has cancer now, and I don't want you guys to talk to her because you might say the wrong thing." And so nobody talked to me in school, and it was awful. And so I felt even more alone, and it was just one thing after another at that point. It was like I couldn't go to a dance because I had a chemo appointment, or I didn't feel well, or I wasn't allowed to go on trips because clearly there's medical issues there. And so it was hard to have to be mature in such an immature point in my life. But I was very brave. It was almost like I had to be strong during this whole thing. And then once the dust settled, once the magic of you're cancer-free kind of settled, it's like reality kicked in, and I was pissed now. I was mad that I went through chemo or I went through cancer and no one else did, and no one understood me, and I started just acting out. I was in detention every day for sure. I struggled with anorexia. I was mean, and it kind of spiraled. It kept going. I think I was afraid of dying, and I think I had to do everything. I had to get trash at this party, and I had to go be with this guy, and I got married when I was 21 and divorced 7 weeks later. I mean, it was terrible. I was a shit show. I was just trying to my mom always says that I was just trying to cram in as much life as possible. I kept thinking I'm gonna die anyway, so who cares about school? Who cares about responsibilities? And I think it wasn't until early 20s before I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna die. And then I grew up a little bit and was like, okay, I'm gonna be here for a while, so what can I make of myself?